I'm the community coordinator here, and then I also teach 10th grade English, and so I'm just kind of hosting our Yeti University, and you'll see some other faces and hear some other voices as well. But we just wanted to start off this Yeti, where the focus of this meeting is course planning, then also talking about graduation requirements. But we just like for you all to get a chance to talk to other families and parents that are in our Crosstown community. We don't get to do that very often. So we have 2 questions here, and in a moment you will be placed into a random breakout room with some other individuals. And you can talk about these 2 questions. I'll try to, you can take a picture of them, but I can also, I think, broadcast them to the breakout rooms as well if you forget. So the first one is just what drew you and your family to Crosstown High? So like, why are we all here? Why do we like this school, this place? And then 2, what are opportunities for growth at Crosstown High? You can answer both of those, you can answer one of them, but just have some open dialogue within your breakout groups. And we'll do this for just about 4 minutes, and then we'll bring everyone back together. We won't necessarily share out, but if you do have answers that you really liked or something that you would like to share, you can share it in the chat when we come back, and we're going to save the chat so we have all of your responses. Okay. All right. When our rooms are ready, we will hit go. You'll be sent to a breakout room. Now, if you're in a breakout room with people whose like cameras are off and they don't really want to talk to you, you can come back to the main room. We'll talk to you. We'll listen to your answers so that you're not just like awkwardly staring into the Zoom space. Okay, so you do have that option. All right, ready for the breakouts. And then if people come in, we can add them to one, I believe.
Are y'all seeing an option to join? Not co-hosts, but everybody else.
Let's see if people are popping away. Yeah, people are going to breakout.
I haven't done breakouts in a long time.
And then I think I can send.
And Crosstown folks, you are, I think Sasha and Jessica, you may or may not be co-hosts yet, but you're welcome to stay or go chat with people if you'd like.
Do you want me to make all the AP teachers? Oh, we have another unassigned.
Do you have me to a specific room? I'm sorry.
There's some type of way to broadcast to the breakout room, but I can't remember.
That may be me.
Or do I join
Whenever you
anyone?
click on
guys.
breakout rooms, Jasmine, you should be able to do that.
You might be able to. Oh, Sasha, did you get it? You might be able to join. Yes,
I can join. Do I go to any of them? Anyone I want?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I left.
Oh, broadcast. I found it. I was like, where is it?
For those of you who are not Crosstown people and you are in the room, if you would like to go join a breakout and chat with some other parents for just a couple of minutes about these questions, please feel free, or you can just hang out here with us for a few minutes.
We still have a couple people coming in. Ginger, I just want to make sure you see those.
I see them and they pop up to move to a breakout eventually, but not immediately.
Yeah, this one still says joining, I think.
Yeah, I can help you add people too. And then we can close them at like 38, 39.
Okay.
They're probably going to be like, that was not enough time. Sorry.
So I think we can hear, they can hear you in their room. So I don't know.
Oh, in the breakout rooms.
It was very quiet in my breakout room, Jasmine. I couldn't hear you talking.
Okay, you didn't hear me talking? Okay, good.
No.
I'll give it like 30 more seconds.
And I'm gonna stop sharing mine. So then Leah or Maggie, y'all can share yours.
Leah, I'll share mine. I figure that's easiest. I've seen it before.
I'll
too.
transition everybody to you guys, but all right, it looks like our breakout rooms are closed. Yes, people are coming back. So sorry if everyone did not get an opportunity to share your answers in your breakout room. We do want to respect our time. We have a lot of information to get to you in a little bit of time. However, if you want to share a response, either one that you heard or one that you just want to get out into the air, feel free to drop your response to either one of these questions in the chat, and we can see them and read them, and we will save them. Particularly, I mean, we would love to know what drew you and your family to us, but particularly what are opportunities for growth at Crosstown as well, because we really like feedback. We want to know your feedback. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed talking to other family members. I'm going to pass it over to Maggie and Leah. They are the experts of the hour. And Miss Sasha Haynes, experts of the hour. They are going to take it over and talk about course planning and graduation requirements. And then at the end of our time, you'll also have an opportunity to hop into breakout rooms with any of our AP teachers if you and your students are interested in AP courses. Okay.
All righty. So again, I am Maggie Reeves, and I've also got Miss Sasha Haynes here, our professional school counselor, to talk with you guys about some course scheduling for next year. And so the first thing that we were going to talk about is, the graduation requirements in the state of Tennessee. And I linked all the titles. So whenever you guys get this slideshow and get the recording and everything, you'll be able to just click on the titles to get to where you need to be. So Sasha, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Maggie, for that wonderful introduction. And the rest of our team, family here, Miss Keys, Miss Jasmine, and of course, Miss Ginger, our conductor, and the families, of course, okay? Like Miss Maggie said, just really quick, as you can see, I'm just going to discuss the Tennessee State graduation requirements. That's something we just can't get around, unfortunately, right? So right there, if you see the total credits that we need is the 22 credits. That is exactly what you need to graduate by state of Tennessee. You need 4 math credits. And that consists of course, that integrated, we do integrated math here, but Ms. Maggie will get more into that. You need the integrated math 1, 2, the geometry, and of course, the upper level math. You need the 4 Englishes, okay? English is that course that you must take and pass to that next grade level. Science, you need 3 credit hours. You have that lab science, the biology, which is environmental here, biology, then you have chemistry or physics, okay? That's 3. Then you have the social studies, which you need 3 credits of. You have the world geography, the US history, the econ, and government. Personal finances, own entity, social studies. I said that physical education and wellness, you need to have a credit of physical education and wellness. A lot of families get that mixed up. Physical education is a necessity, have a credit. Wellness is a whole credit, sort of like health back in the day, okay? But of course, that personal finance, that have a credit. You have that foreign language. You must have 2 full credits with one specific foreign language. You cannot mix and mingle, okay? If you take Spanish 1, you have to take Spanish 2. If you take Russian 1, you have to take Russian 2. Here we offer Spanish, okay? The next one is the fine art. That's 1 whole credit. The visual arts or the digital arts and design. And we have some more that Ms. Maggie will communicate about. And then we have an elective focus, which is very important. You need those 3 elective focus areas. Crosstown does a great job with that as well. And that is through our capstone courses, okay? Other than that, that is what is required for us to do. But when Ms. Maggie get ready to take back over, she will tell you about some of the fun things that you can include with that. Okay. If you have any more questions for me later, I'll be here for you. Thank you.
And I put this over and over on every single one of our slides, is that the total required credits to graduate is 22, but it is not just any 22. And I'm pretty sure that I left that on this slide also. So I'm going to hop into how, our course progression looks here at Crosstown High. So kind of it generally what your student will take each class. Oh goodness, sorry. Again, I hyperlink the title and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. So this has been updated. So if you are remembering from meetings in years past, this changes every year depending on like what the freshmen are doing, etc. So again, right up top, we hyperlinked again the state of Tennessee's website for the graduation requirements again, but we also wrote it all out for you all again. So it's everything with course scheduling is just repeated over and over again on every single document that you see. So you may see, our elective course catalog, this course progression doc, an AP catalog, you'll see a whole bunch of different Google Docs, and really just remember that they are all linked to each other. They all say the same things over and over again. So you will see that our 9th graders, every single one of them takes English 1. We're changing our progression, or we're currently in the process of changing our progression of social studies classes and when students are taking them. So you'll see we have Econ and US government for freshmen, integrated math 1 with an asterisk there. So if a student comes in with high school math credits, then they will take a placement test to either be an integrated math 2 or integrated math 3. And so you see all of these notes down here. Our science classes, freshmen take either environmental science, AP environmental science, or anatomy and physiology, which is a new addition this year. An elective 1, which must fulfill one of the graduation requirement electives, a second elective, and then capstone 1, which will end up being that elective focus. 10th grade, it looks a little bit the same. The difference is social studies is AP US history, and all of our 10th graders take AP US history. They all take the AP exam. Our science class for 10th graders is biology. Again, you'll see, our little asterisk. So again, for integrated math 2, it just depends on the track of your student for math classes. And then for the first elective, it still has to be a graduation required elective. And you'll see capstone 2 again, which goes towards our elective focus. 11th graders will take English 3, or they have the opportunity to take AP English language. Their social studies class is world history or AP human geography. Their science class is chemistry and physics. And every year that they take an elective, every single student, until they have their required graduation elective, so that fine arts, the foreign language credits, the PE and lifetime wellness, every student has to be in required electives until they're done with all of their required electives. And then for our seniors, they have the option between either English 4 or AP literature or dual enrollment English composition. Math, we have a couple different options here. You can see them. And then social studies, our students will be in one semester of personal finance. Again, you guys have this document, or will have access to this document really soon once we get our elective course catalog a little bit more settled. But trust me, we communicate about it a lot. So you will see this many, many, many times. And it's in this recording. So if you ever want to go back, here it is. And then the final thing that we were going to talk to you guys about is our graduation planner. So Ms. Haynes made this awesome graduation planner that, again, not only has our emails right up top, but also has the requirement for the state over each subject area. And students can keep track of how many credits they have earned in every single one of these classes compared to how many are required. And so she has them by different departments. So English, math, science, social studies, and we have them matched up to what grade level every student is generally taking these credits. And then down here, we automatically have the capstone credits put in here. And I know that I'm rushing through this a little bit, but I want everybody to know that this exists. You all will have the link for this again. And your students, unless they are current freshmen, your students created these last year with me and Ms. Haynes in their English classes. And we will be going back to English classes in a month from today, actually, to update these with current transcripts with every single student at Crosstown High, obviously other than seniors. But with freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, we are going to be looking at their schedules once again in their English classes. And that isn't even to enroll in their classes yet. This is just so that they can see their graduation planner updated. They can see their current transcripts, and they can even go ahead and think about their projected schedule without signing up for any classes yet. That'll come a little bit later once we're done with all of this. And again, all of these, once you guys have the slideshow, you can just click into everything through the title. Questions. So Ms. Haynes is awfully busy if you guys don't know her already. And so I actually have my email here. I have it linked to the title again. And I can answer a lot of your questions. So send them to me always first, and then I will, the really difficult ones, I will bring in Ms. Haynes so that she has time to do all of her other many important jobs. And
Maggie,
now,
I'm gonna ask one question actually before you move on that I bet is on people's minds. When will I know what the elective courses are that are available for next year?
yeah, they should
Great
be.
question.
Ginger, I mean, I think you have that answer probably. The elective course catalog is still being worked on right now, because what we do every year is we ask teachers and students what they want to see, what changes they want to see, what classes they want to see repeated. And so that elective course catalog is not complete yet, but it will be very soon. I don't know if we have a strict date for that yet. I have Ginger's face up on my screen, nodding as I'm talking. So I don't think that we have a strict date, but students will be able to see that before we're in their English classes. So probably around the time of spring break, right before spring break, students will be able to see that. Again, once you guys have access to all of this, it's not the same as signing up for classes. That will come later. So I've been kind of telling parents this is like a 3-step process. We have Yeti University tonight of giving y'all a brief overview. The second step is me and Ms. Haynes go into all English classes and just talking through transcripts and graduation planners with students, seeing where they've progressed through. And then the third step is actually signing up for classes. So that won't be until probably late March, early April.
And don't worry. I just want to add that don't worry, don't sweat. We got you. We're going to say it 50 million times, like Miss Maggie said. Have comfort that we got you. And if you don't have the answer when time comes, we are here to find that solution for you. Okay. So don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I'm echoing Miss Sasha Haynes. Thank you, Maggie, and thank you, Miss Haynes. So nice to be here with all of you. I'm Leah Keys, and I'm the College and Career Advisor at Crosstown High. This is a role that I absolutely love, and it's really an honor and a privilege to get to walk this path with your children and also with you. Because this is not, this is not a singular experience. Parents are part of this too. I actually have 2 children at Crosstown myself, so I'm feeling it along with you. And I'm, you see Ginger is here and Miss Haynes here. We all have students who are seniors this year, getting ready to make the big leap, the transition, and it's a really exciting time and also nerve-wracking. And please know that I'm here to walk this path with you and be of support. I think that it's really important to tell you all that at Crosstown, college planning is something that starts in the 9th grade year when students come in on the first day of school, and it starts in a really passive way. Students have access, of course, to like all kinds of new experiences and new people, and learning about all of the different people at our school, whether it's staff or community partners, and all the projects that they're doing. That is part of preparing them for college. And so that college planning starts in a passive way. Students come to career studies, and students come to different guest speakers that we have to learn more about what options there are outside of school during their 9th grade and 10th grade year. They do a lot of learning about themselves so that they are able to know what kind of learner they are and what kind of learning environment works best for them. And those are things that are really important when it comes to picking what you'd like to do after high school. I know for many of you, this probably feels really far away. And the bad news is, I'm so sorry, it happens really fast. And all of a sudden you'll be just like me and Ginger and Miss Haynes, who have seniors. But again, I'm here for you. So Maggie, will you move to the next slide? Maybe I can like give you a wink when it's time to move slides. So you'll find at Crosstown that when we use the word college, we're really inclusive. I go back to the Latin root that you see on the screen, that this is a community, society, guild, to choose, to collect, to gather. And this can be at an institution, any institution of higher learning. And that could be at a trade school, that can be in a technical field, that can actually be in an apprenticeship. Any means of continuing to learn and staying curious is included in that definition of college. So, in my experience, or at least when I was in high school and I heard adults say college, I was very attached to the idea that that meant exclusively a 4-year college or university that would offer a bachelor's degree. And I just hope that everyone is able to see that that's not necessarily the case, that there is, of course, lifelong learning, but this is a really inclusive term. So when you hear us talk about college, you'll know that it's inclusive. When your child might push back at some point, because I'm sorry, but it happens, and entertain that thought of, well, I don't want to go to college. Too bad, it happens, it happens. With this definition, it's all inclusive, so that they are included here. All right, I'm ready for this next slide. Thanks, Maggie. So our main goal, particularly when students are juniors, is to help them to create different choices for themselves. And we want to make sure that they take all of the necessary steps in order to position themselves to do any of these things. We have students who pursue all of these different career and college paths, some of whom, when they are creating their choices, it will include, they will include choices from each of these categories. It's not just exclusively that they're creating choices for different colleges. They work with each category. So we really, we're not a competitive school. We are definitely trying to practice equity, meet students where they are, celebrate their strengths, and, work with the challenges that they have. So we value all of these pathways, and celebrate them all. If you pass by our pennant flag wall on the 5th floor, you will see flags from both trade schools and four-year institutions and two-year institutions. And I'm excited this year. I'm really hopeful that we'll get one of those military flags up there. I think it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. But that's what we're working towards. And so you will hear that language a lot when it comes to college planning, creating lists, applying to different programs, applying to different colleges. You'll hear me say, like, that's a great choice. It's so great that you're looking for choices, because that's truly what we want. So that way they feel like they have options. And, we have we've had a great, of course, a great year last year with our first graduating class. And I'll update y'all on that shortly. And also this year's too, when it comes to their choices. So Maggie, ready for the next slide, please? Along with creating those choices, I'm going to help. That's part of what I do, is I help students develop individual strategies and complete all of the tasks. There are students who find that maybe the schools or programs that they really, really want to apply to have certain requirements that they may or may not have met yet. And there's no one way to go about this. Like, they're going to work with me and we'll create individual strategies that are as unique as we are. So this is a time when it's really easy for students and parents too, but for students to look around at their peers and see, like, oh, so-and-so is doing this. Gosh, I probably should too. And that sometimes can be the case, but sometimes not. Like, there's some students who will say, like, only apply to schools that offer rolling admission. And, some seniors will see acceptances really early in the school year, and then others wait, and they might not see them until, February, March. We have a bunch of them coming in now. And so it's different for everyone. And I encourage you not to fall into the trap of comparison there. As we work through the tasks, I will help all of our families and all of our seniors, well, juniors and seniors, during that period of time to complete the tasks, meet the deadlines, and really develop a strategy that works best for your student within, the parameters that are set by the different institutions. I wish I had control over those, but I don't yet. So I'll work with them while they're here. This is kind of a snapshot of college acceptances for the class of 2022, our first graduating class last May. These are colleges, again, where they were accepted. So not necessarily where they chose to attend, but well, they are on there. Their attending colleges are on there, but I feel like this is a good just like a good thing to see, to think about the possibilities and see how Crosstown students see themselves. They're all over the place, from Moore Tech to Brown, NYU, Newmont College of Computer Technology. It's really exciting to see what our graduates are interested in, what they choose. And then also to have them come back and visit, which we've had quite a bit of over the past month or so. And that's been such a treat. And it's been really, also in that, it's been really helpful for the graduates to have a little bit of time with our seniors in particular to share their experience of the transition into college. And that's been really interesting too, to have them around. Maggie, will you go to the next slide? Okay, so this is in progress. This is the class of 2023. And so you see that some of these schools on here are like a little bit lighter. They're a little transparent, not totally solid. Those are schools that we're waiting to hear from. But you can see here the schools where our class of 2023, our current seniors, have already received acceptances from. It's a little daunting. I have to be honest, I have not counted, so I don't have that proper data. And I also have to fess up, I have not counted or totaled up their scholarships. I've tracked them, but I have not totaled those numbers yet. This group is really interesting, really unique, a lot of early applications, which has been really great for students as far as scholarships go. And then, of course, there are some who are in the process right now of applying for scholarships, both local and national, and figuring out, based on all of those choices, the different paths that they created for themselves, figuring out which one feels like it's the best fit. And, we go in and trust that that will reveal itself. So far, so good. The big question that comes up, I think, for parents, well, including myself, because I do have a child who's a 9th grader, is, what can we do right now? What can students do right now? And as a parent, how can I help my student right now in order to of course, help them now, but then also prepare them for this transition and also give them, the independence, to make these choices. So number one, first and foremost, always, no matter what their plans are after high school, you're going to come to school consistently and do your very best work. Our students learn pretty early in their time at Crosstown that valuable practice of reflection. And on reflection, and with reflection, they're able to look back on maybe a project that they did, or even just an assignment, and say, oh, I really could have tried a little harder at that. And I always encourage students to avoid, once they know that that's a possibility, avoid doing that. Really show up, offer your best, be curious, take the work a little further than maybe you feel like it in that moment. We're also naturally curious, and also come to school consistently. Once students miss out on a day and then two, especially if they're not sick, we want all the sick kids to stay home, right, and rest and be better. But we really want to emphasize that, you got to come in, you got to be consistent. So that's number one, first and foremost. We also offer during our enrichment period, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 8:30 to 9:30, we have career speaker series. And Dr. Beeling has been working amazingly, tirelessly at securing and booking all kinds of very, very interesting individuals from the community, different community partners, to come in and talk about their work, talk about the things they were interested in when they were in high school, and then where they chose to go to college and what they learned, or what they did, what they learned about themselves that was great, and the other things that led them to the career path that they've chosen. So that's a really, really helpful resource right there. And it's something that we have done for quite a long time. We offered career speaker series during the pandemic, when we were exclusively virtual. And for a lot of students, that turned out to be a really valuable experience to talk with and connect with all different professionals in all different fields. And I also feel like those who come and maybe have an impression of or an idea of what a certain professional does, sometimes, that's turned upside down, and they realize, oh my gosh, I had no idea that that a graphic animator does this, or I have no idea, you know, that a photojournalist does that, has the access to this type of work and these kinds of opportunities. So we encourage them to do this, to do the enrichment career speaker series. I encourage all parents and students to explore all different possibilities. And you know, as a parent, there are times when certain possibilities come up that I personally am not wild about. But what I have found for my experience is that when I am patient, those things work out. You know, maybe and maybe that the way that it worked out did not involve me putting it down. Which is really hard for us parents, because sometimes we don't want to hear the things that some of our students are exploring and trying to figure out, and we don't want that for them. But you know, it helps to just stay with it and be curious and explore, research different colleges and go and tour colleges. And it's never too early to do that. I really recommend, if you're not able to get out of town to tour colleges, go tour Rhodes, go tour University of Memphis and Lemoyne-Owen and Christian Brothers University and Southwest. They all offer tours. It's just great to get your child's feet on the campus and let them see what it's really like. You know, we all had ideas of what college was from, at least I did, from movies when I was a kid. And so then going and being on an actual campus, you can even attend classes if you'd like to. I recommend that as well. Anything that you can do to just kind of open up the idea of possibly attending a college, or exploring a career. Also, I highly recommend just starting the conversations with friends and family about their own experiences and career pursuits, because you'll hear some of the most interesting wisdom around, you know, especially it's like having your own personal little career speaker series with your friends and family, because you get the chance to hear about, well, I thought I was going to pursue this, and then here I landed doing this other thing that I absolutely love. That's how it happens sometimes in life. And it's really important for young people to hear about that and to know what other people did to get to the point where they are right now. Yeah. So Maggie, will you move to the next slide? Okay, so for those of you who have any questions, I mean, I think I see some in the chat, but you're also always welcome to send me an email. I also help, well, I don't help. I run, along with the help of some students, I run the college planning, the college and career Instagram page, and you're welcome to like jot that down or like take a picture of that handle right there. We always post on Instagram when we're celebrating acceptances, and we're doing all kinds of fun new celebrations, new ways to celebrate our students. And those acceptances, like I said, they come in through the end of March and really truly actually through the end of the school year. But it's really fun to see the kids hang up their flags. They are so proud of the fact that they get to share that with their classmates, to share the both, of course, like the video eventually, but to be able to share the fact that they have worked so hard that first semester, especially to get through the application process with a lot of support from us, don't worry. And then they get to look at the wall and see, of course, their pennant and know that that they have a spot, you know, and feel seen and known. So I encourage y'all to check that out if you're not already following. All right, I'm going to look at the chat real quick. I see.
I think we got all the questions except for that last one, Leah.
Oh, you answered them? Okay, I'm sorry.
Except for the last one.
So, right. Okay, so the way that Tennessee Promise works is that the state of Tennessee will offer students who graduate in the state of Tennessee 2 free years of college at certain schools in the state of Tennessee. It is only for a 2-year program. It's not 2 free years during your 4-year program. It's exclusively for a 2-year program that would offer a student a certificate or an associate's degree when they finish. The difficulty with Tennessee Promise is that their application period is early in the senior year. And one thing that can be challenging is that students early in their senior year are just becoming seniors. And for many of them, it's hard to imagine that they need to do anything to plan for after graduation, right? They're really thinking about today and tomorrow, and minds are kind of blown that they have to be a senior. But the state of Tennessee is really strict about their application deadlines, which is why, especially this year, their English teacher, Miss Wilkes, was fantastic about ensuring that regardless of their plans for after high school, that they applied for Tennessee Promise. So that's the really the toughest part about Tennessee Promise is applying really early. I'm sorry that there are issues with it. I think I know what that is, but let's talk about that. If you want, you're welcome to email me and maybe I can help break that down a little bit more, because the students that I have known who well, let me pause for a moment. The Tennessee Promise was offering a little bit of grace with certain things during the pandemic, and for the class of 2022, they decided not to. They gave hard deadlines, and so that could be one of the challenges, but I'm happy to help you with that as well. And Shelley says, I understand with Tennessee Promise, you have to fill out a FAFSA first. Okay, so no, okay, let me clarify one thing, because Shelley, your question is about Tennessee Promise and some steps that are on there, and the steps that you have got there are a little bit, there are 2 scholarships that I see that are mixing together. Okay, so Tennessee Promise is a scholarship application that when your child is a senior, they will fill out in the fall when they come to school in that fall semester. They'll do that application. They do have to fill out the FAFSA, not necessarily first, because the deadline for Tennessee Promise is just shortly after the opening of the FAFSA, and that would be a little bit too crazy. They can actually fill out the Tennessee Promise first. When you sign up for Tennessee Promise, when you fill out that application, there is not a GPA requirement. There is not an ACT requirement. The Tennessee Promise is for every single graduate of high school in the state of Tennessee, regardless of their GPA, regardless of their ACT. Yes. So there's another scholarship in the state of Tennessee, Shelley, which is the Hope Scholarship. The Hope Scholarship is a scholarship that when you fill out your FAFSA form as a senior after October 1st, that scholarship is automatically included in your application for federal aid. You don't have to fill out a separate application for that. The Hope Scholarship does require a minimum GPA or a minimum ACT score, which is really a good thing that is an or and not necessarily an and, because not all of us are great test takers, including myself, but I am quite the lifelong learner. That Tennessee Hope Scholarship is one that, again, you don't have to fill out a separate application for. And that Hope Scholarship can be used at any colleges, any public universities and colleges in the state of Tennessee. when your child is a junior and then, going into their senior year, they are going to hear all about this, and you are going to hear all about this. Y'all are going to be so sick of me and all of my emails, because I'm going to stay with you guys on this path. I want to make sure that nobody misses anything, and that everybody meets all the deadlines that are needed. So please know that that I'm walking the path with you. It's a really complicated and sometimes overwhelming process, but that's why I'm here, is because it would be too much for you all to take on entirely on your own. And I really love to help with this. I really love to help families navigate through this process, one bite at a time, because otherwise it just gets to be a little too much. So yeah, always feel free to send me an email. That's the best way to reach me. And thanks so much. Jasmine, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Unmute myself. Okay, thank you so much, Talia and Maggie and Sasha, for all of your information. Along with, like I said, course planning, we do want to give you all an opportunity to hear about our AP courses that we do have at Crosstown, and that will be offered next year. And so we have several of our AP teachers who are here, and we're going to open up breakout rooms for you to be able. So this is the end of our whole group session. Like Leah said, if you have any questions, feel free to send her email, send a message on the Instagram, however you would like to get a hold of her for your question. And then we're going to open up some breakout rooms. Yeah, yes, and Maggie. We're going to open up some breakout rooms, I believe, with the title of the AP course. So you are free to take the next about 10 minutes that we're on here to hop into that or several AP course rooms. The teacher, the instructor in charge of it will be there to just give you a brief overview and then answer a few questions that you may have. But if we run out of time and you still have questions, they can give you their contact information as well to answer any questions as well. Yes, Sasha, do you want to add?
I do. I just wanted to add one thing to the most wonderful Miss Keys. She explained everything so great. There is no specific qualifications for the Tennessee Promise, but once your students get it, they have to maintain it. I wanted to just add that. And I know we'll get to that. She's also been reminding the students about that. But once the students qualify for that Tennessee Promise and Hope Scholarship, once they get in their post-secondary careers, you must maintain a 2.0 GPA or you may lose that money, okay? That when you cross over, they will let you know that, but just remember that piece, okay? All right, I just wanted to add that. So when you get to that level of your career and your academics, maintain it, okay? 2.0.
Hey,
All right,
Jennifer,
thank
I just texted you something really quick if you want to. Cool.
Once we have the rooms open, you should be able to choose. That's like a choose your own adventure in Zoom. So you should be able to choose which room you want to go into when it pops up on your screen. And then you can move back and forth between them as well. And so in a second, we'll open those up and you can pop into the room with that AP teacher. And then AP teachers, feel free to 6:30 hard stop. And then if anybody has any lingering questions, they can send them to us. Okay.
And we
Thank
do have, oh, so I was just saying, we have a few teachers who are missing and we're going to consolidate some rooms. So if you go to a room and there's not a teacher there, never fear, either one of us will come or we will put you in the right spot. So head on to whichever one you have questions about.
Thank you, guys.
Maybe if I can figure out how to do that.
And I can help you too if you're looking for specific places. Ms. Buller, AP drawing. Oh, I think she's gone. Okay.
And if anybody's still here and having trouble getting into one of the AP rooms, just come off mute and let me know where you'd like to go. And I think I can move you there.
Hi, Ginger. I'm having trouble. I don't see any options to choose anything.
Oh,
I don't
well,
either.
who was that? And I
Hey,
will,
Miss Sago.
Hey.
oh, hey, which one did you want to go to, Miss Ego?
I don't know, Reagan. What do you want to go to? We wanted to see the options. We're not sure.
Oh,
We're
okay.
just gonna click on whatever the different options were. She'll be she'll be in the 11th grade next year.
Okay, I'm not sure that I can show you the options, but I can't. So for the 11th grade, AP Lang and composition would be like the English option for that. AP, there's a few social studies ones that would be like AP government, AP comparative government. Those could potentially be options.
AP economics also.
Economics, although our economics teacher is not here this evening. So,
Oh.
but
Okay, she
Ms.
said
McCritchie
AP
could-
language.
okay, I'm gonna move you there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ginger, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything either, like anything
Okay.
to join or options.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how to show you that again. Like I've, but
Yeah.
without closing it, but if you tell me what area you might be interested in, I can move you there.
Colin is in ninth, so going into 10th, the literature and that might have been, I don't know. I don't know the options.
Yeah, so for 10th, AP literature is generally a senior option.
Gotcha.
So for 10th grade, probably some of the social studies ones could potentially be options. AP computer science, although our AP computer science teacher is not here this evening.
Definitely the A-push one.
Oh, right, APUSH. You want me to send you there?
What's a push?
AP US history. Sorry, we're used to our lingo.
The computer science is something he's interested in, but what was the other one you said after that before?
So AP, so of the ones that are here tonight that you could learn about, any social studies ones, I could move you to.
We'll do one of those.
Okay, I'm gonna move you there.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hey, Miss Ray.
Yes, where would you like to?
Hi. So I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. So she's gonna take English 4 and whatever math she chooses this summer. That's our plan.
Let me tell you something about that, Miss
do
Ray.
y'all
She can take a math, but I want you to know and understand about the math piece. That is that course. It's a little different than English. She will have to take a math course no matter what. So if that's stressful for her, if you want her to stress through the summer and do it, that's fine. But she's gonna have to, unfortunately, that is just state policy. She will have to be enrolled in the math as well. So if you want her to kind of take a break, ease her mind, don't force her to take a math unless you want to have that extra math for support. But you also want to think about her GPA and how you affect that too. Just keep that in mind, okay? She can take math if you want it, but she's gonna have to be enrolled in one when she come back as a senior. That's state law. Okay, so you got some pondering to do. You hear Ms. Ray?
I'm just talking my little head off. I'm sorry, I was on mute. So from what I'm gathering from what you're saying, if she's taking English 4, she can't take English 4 in the summer unless she takes a math in the summer.
No.
Or is it the
take
other
English
way
4
around?
in the summer. She can take English 4 in the summer, but when she come back, she doesn't have another English to take. What'll happen is that'll open up a spot. However,
Right.
if she's opening up for another elective, if that's fine. If we have that availability, we don't have study halls, so that's not an option.
Right.
So, we want to have some place for her to go. We don't want her to come back and just have one class to take, and then she's
Well,
sitting
that's
around and don't have. Mhm.
Well, I'm trying to work on that because so she's finally decided her career goal.
Okay.
And she's talked to a couple of people that are doing that now.
Okay.
So she wants to be an attorney and a newscaster, which maybe one day she'll be on CNN. I'll be happy about that. So we were trying to see if we could partner, or if you all partner with Shelby County Schools to where she could take like that broadcasting class.
So,
where they actually, you
what-
know, do the TV stuff and
so when
all
you say
that.
partner with them, we are an entity. So what you're asking, if we have a program that we can probably set her up with to go to another school, I don't think so. That's not, it's not leaving our school and going to another school to take another course. That's a no.
Yeah, see, and I know it's been years, but we used to do that
Right,
when I was in
right.
school. But like I said, that's been years
Right.
ago.
Miss
Right
Ray,
now,
I
that's-
will say that Miss Cowden is going to be offering a class next year called XTH Media. That is going to be a lot of different types of media. So broadcasting, podcasting, all of those kind of like new media that, you know, beyond what we had as students when we were kids. And so that's going to be an option. Another thing I would say is that when she gets to be a junior or a senior, depending on like what credits she already has and what.
That's Mackenzie, mom. She'll be a senior next year.
Oh,
She'll
okay,
be a
great.
senior.
So there, I was just looking at the University of Memphis dual enrollment options, and there is a broadcasting dual enrollment option. So we could help her look at that as well. There are some, you know, eligibility requirements, but Ms. Haynes and Maggie they will definitely be able to look at all that with her and help her make that decision. So there's some good choices.
Okay, and the one you said it's called the first one
XTH
that you'll have
Media.
available at
Yes, it'll be in the course catalog.
Okay, so yeah, because I would prefer for her to stay on campus, but I mean, you know, if push comes to shove.
I
Yeah.
just want you to
But yeah,
remember
I
this
like
about
that.
the math. Like you might want to get a break from that unless you want to keep her skills sharp. But I don't know what that looks like because you know, just meeting that and just it's a fast-paced math course. And I want her to take a break because you have to take a math, okay? I know that was one of your largest concerns. So just know that if she take it in the summer, she still got to take it no matter what. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. That helps me
You're
out so much. So how soon do I need to get with you to do her paperwork for her English class?
Okay, so summer, we're a
summer.
little early, but late at the same time, right? Shelby County Schools don't send out any information for us in any other district until mid-May, I'll say. And unfortunately, we have to hit the ball rolling, okay? We get it last minute. My team, Maggie and Ms. Keys, we hit the ball rolling. It's like we have no time to think. We just fortunate to have one another to hold each other up and get you all across the line. So just be patient with us. As soon as we find out, you gonna find out. And then you better be ready to run. Understand? Got it.
Yeah, last year, the last week of May, whenever we had to cancel classes because we had so many COVID positives at school, I was laying in my living room on my like fold out
Not
couch with
feeling
COVID,
well.
enrolling kids into summer school. I truly it's a miracle that they all were enrolled correctly.
Made it
because
through.
I have no clue what was happening there. And it truly, we had to do it within like 4 days.
3 days.
The county only gave us a couple days to do all of it.
Yep.
So it'll feel really fast and it is.
But just keep us updated and we are put, if you just keep us updated, send an email just to remind me. As a matter of fact, while you're talking, I'll go ahead and put it on our potential advancement courses for her, just to keep our minds kind of up to beat. So when we review that list, we know that you want to consider English 4, but you have to be pre-qualified. Once you let me know that, I can pre-qualify her once you confirm that, and then we'll hit the ground running, okay? Just keep in reminder, because we do have a lot of things we do. We might forget to say, hey.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. Thank you all so much for being great to our students and to us as parents.
Thank you for being a great parent. All of you are.
Y'all, I'm waiting on a kid upstairs anyway, so I am happy to hang on until the breakout rooms are finished. So don't feel like you all have to hang out. I'll be here.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys did a great job. I'm super grateful for all of you.
Yes, awesome job, guys.
Thanks, guys.